Hey there everyone, my name is Crowe and welcome to the Epic Podcast. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I'm really excited to finally get to it. Now this particular video is only going to consist of my answers to the questions and nobody else's. If you guys are interested in watching other people's answers to the questions, then you can click on the links here, or here, and those will link you directly to the unedited version of the 2.5 hour podcast. Because I don't want my video to be that long, I decided to edit it down to my answers so you guys can get to know me on a better personal level. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Have you called in sick or late to work or skipped classes to game? Just straight up game.
I've done worse, actually. Yes, I have called in sick or late before to actually play games. I've actually come up with the excuse that my grandma has died before to play games. Wow. So, and I actually, like, a couple weeks later, I quote unquote attended her funeral to skip another day and game more.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Your dead grandmother be so proud of you.
She's alive, actually. She's alive and well. So
She'd be so proud of you from
I
the
would be
grave.
surprised if your grandmother's watching this right now and the one cuts you out through this.
I'm sorry, Grandma. Have you ever sworn off a game, uninstall it, and later return to it? Is that the question?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
League of Legends. Enough said. That's
Yeah.
that's my answer to that. League of Legends. Holy shit, that game like ruled my life for a year, and I played the hell out of it. And when I started making videos, that's when I stopped. I don't know, nothing could make me stop playing League of Legends. It turned me into a shitty person. I turned into one of those rager assholes who you see in every match, who's like, fuck you, you fucking fuck, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna stop. I started making videos, and I am a better person for it, and I periodically play League of Legends since, but not nearly as much as I did.
Next question.
What was your motivation for doing YouTube?
Oh, shit.
Okay, well this one is definitely a past tense question because it's no longer as much the case as it was then. But and I really wish I had a more a more inspiring thing than this. But I actually was originally motivated to start making videos because of Markiplier. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people who Markiplier inspires. And that was my original motivation. You know, my motivation and what I get a drive out of now is different. But originally, when I first started making videos, that was, you know, my motivation.
What's your personal favorite video game of all time?
Alright, so do we have the question here still? What's your favorite game from childhood? Because the two are different.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright. Well, if I was gonna have to choose what my favorite video game of all time would be, it would be a little bit more difficult to answer simply because, obviously when I was younger, you know, games I played then I would disagree with now. Obviously, when everyone's younger, you usually have a different opinion of gaming. If I had to choose, you know, games that I've always enjoyed throughout all my years, regardless of age, I would probably say it was the Twisted Metal series because, you know, when I was younger, I loved it, you know, teen years loved it, and now I can still play it and love it. So, if I was going to say, you know, just one title in particular, I'd probably say Twisted Metal 4 was my favorite one. But, yeah, that would definitely be my favorite of all time.
What are your intentions for the future of your channel?
I mean, anyone who's ever been, you know, people who've been with my channel for a while probably know that I'm a very charitable kind of person, and I definitely want to be able to do that more and in larger quantities. So, I mean, that's definitely, I do plan on sticking with this group. I've had no reason to leave this group. You know, this group is very good for me. I've been in a couple groups in the past, and, you know, eventually they fell apart, and I try not to think about that potentially becoming the case for this one as well. But, you know, I do have a lot of plans that I really would like to be able to do. I just need to get the support behind me before I can do it. So, people who are supporting me, you know, I really do appreciate every single person who does get behind me and, you know, believes in me and supports the content that I put out.
If your channel ever became popular, what kind of additions or changes would you like to make?
So, I mean, if my channel did, this kind of expands on the previous question. I really want to get more into doing more charity stuff. I always want to give back to my subscribers and give back to the community in general. You know, I have high intentions of like keeping in mind those who've been with me since the very start, because I mean, my channel could never get to any sort of heights without the people who supported me at the start, which is the people, in my opinion, who supported me the most, because you stuck with me even though you looked at my video and it didn't have 500 views or 1,000 views or 1,000,000 views. So things that I mean, additions and changes, I mean, hardware wise, of course, I'll upgrade a lot of my hardware. I intend to get a green screen eventually and incorporate that, incorporate that in my videos as well. But, you know, I really just want to make something that I can, you know, give back to the people who've supported me. And that's pretty much where I'm going with things.
The next question comes from another comment. The comment person name is the Combo Minecraft. He says, "What is your favorite game from your childhood?"
I was waiting for this question.
I think we already did, but let's go over it again.
Well, see, this question kind of does bleed into the original game question, but in all honesty, my favorite childhood game is different than my favorite game of all time. My favorite childhood game was definitely Lunar 2 Eternal Blue RPG for PlayStation 2. In my opinion, you know, RPGs these days, they're just not as good as they once were. You know, back then, you didn't rely on flashy graphics. It wasn't about who can make the shiniest fireball, you know? It was about a good story, and that's what RPGs... Now, granted, there are a few that I still enjoy now, like the Mass Effect series and the Dragon Age series. Pretty much anything that BioWare sneezes on. But, I mean, Lunar 2 Eternal Blue was definitely, as a child, my most played game. I only recently beat it, to be honest. I actually played it recently, and I only recently beat it, and it also has an amazing ending. So, if you guys haven't checked that game out, I would highly recommend it.
What is your hobbies outside of YouTube?
Okay, hobbies outside of YouTube. I actually have quite a few things I do besides gaming. A lot of people, a lot of my subscribers already know that I'm actually a massage therapist, and so I stick to a lot of the things that a massage therapist would stick to. I do yoga, I play football, which is not related, but, you know, it's an activity I enjoy doing. Huh? Coupons?
Coupons?
I do yoga. I try to keep up with my health a lot with like eating habits and, you know, regular routines and exercise and such. So outside of my gaming life, that's pretty much the extent of it. Alright, the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. Man, I mean, the way I describe embarrassment is something that actually embarrasses me. So if I wasn't actually embarrassed by the situation, I wouldn't consider it embarrassing. But God, the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. Probably one time we were at a very fancy restaurant. It was just me and my friends. This is back when I was in college. And I seen a movie where this guy, I don't remember what the movie or the show was, but they were pretty much making jokes about penises. And so it entered my head, and we were all sitting at the table. Everyone was eating, being quiet. It was a very established and fancy place. So, you know, any inappropriate action was prohibited. I obviously forgot that. And we were in the middle of talking, and I don't remember how the conversation started, but we were talking about penises. And this girl sitting across from me, she was like, well, she said something about how everyone else at the table is jealous just because she had a 10-foot dick. So I took my arm straight up into the air, slammed it on the table, and I said, "Show them what you're working with." And everyone in the entire restaurant looked at me. and we actually ended up getting kicked out of the restaurant because of that.
We
If
don't.
you have one video game feature, what would it be?
Oh.
Oh, that one's... I'm excited for this one. I don't know if any of you guys actually know what this is, but I'm sure someone out there does. I would want the ball from Katamari Damacy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, yes! Oh my god.
Just fucking just start. Yes.
Will you ever have a Let's Play with your subscribers submitted by Nicholas Rosen?
Ah, hello, Nicholas. He's a good subscriber of mine. Been with me for a while. I do actually intend to eventually do Let's Plays with my subscribers. I feel like that this is something that is more aimed towards me doing streams, because I do intend to stream in the future. I think it would be a lot easier to do that then. I've actually personally invited a few of my subscribers in the past to record with me, but they've always had stuff to do, you know, and conflicting schedules and such. And at first I thought, you know, well, that sucks, but then it made me realize, you know, people who watch my content, you know, they have lives too, and they have busy stuff that they have to do as well. So to answer your question, I do intend to do it, but if I do it, it'll probably be during a stream that I would like say in advance. That way people would know it was coming.
Comes from Sergeant Professor. He asks, what kind of games do you like the most?
Hello, Professor. I'm assuming that this question is in reference to genres, in which case I would have to say RPGs. I'm not a really big fan of RPGs these days, and I'm not a big fan of MMOs, but definitely RPGs from the past, all the way.
So, submitted by Sergeant Professor again. Is it hard to be an active YouTuber, and with what kind of difficulties do you face?
Well, like right now, you know, anything that's happened to me in my past doesn't really prevent me from making videos. I do have a few problems with me personally and mentally that can make things difficult. I have bipolar depression, so sometimes you wake up and you don't know if your life is going to be ran by, hey, it's a good day, or why the fuck am I even getting out of bed? So it can be kind of stressful at times, you know, because you find it very hard to motivate yourself to do that. But as far as like, I mean, that's just personal stuff that I can overcome most of the time, almost every day. But as far as like physical things getting in the way, I work a very easy job. I love it, and I don't work long hours, so I don't really have anything like taking 8 hours out of my day to keep me from doing this. So that is why I'm able to upload videos daily, and that is why I intend to. Even though I don't promise to, I do want to.
Do you find the rewards from making YouTube videos match the effort you put into it?
That's a tough question.
Oh yeah.
Because I love making videos, and if I get one or two views, if I get one or two likes on my video, that is very positive for my attitude. It motivates me to make more content in the future. But I will admit that sometimes, you know, you do feel like that you're putting like so much work into videos, and like you post it and you're like, oh, this is like my best video yet. And it hardly sees any progress, and it can demotivate you. It can make you feel like shit. You know, controversially, you could just post a random video that you didn't expect to really get big, and people loved it. So it's really hard to, you know, really say. But, you know, me personally, I love it when people watch my content. I could not grow any further and still be happy where I am, because, you know, one, I never made plans for YouTube to become a source of income for me, so if it doesn't, I'm okay. And and for two, I just love doing it. You know, for me right now, it is just a hobby. It's something I love doing. If it becomes something more, then I would be ecstatic, because I've always wanted to be an entertainer. But if it doesn't, you know, then that's just the way the that's just the way the dice roll.
They right. What's the first ever game that made you want to make YouTube videos?
Loaded question for me, because
I got that one.
The first thing that made me want to make YouTube videos wasn't actually a game. Actually, it comes from my original inspiration, which was Markiplier. It wasn't a game. I don't remember which game he may have been playing when I watched. It was probably Amnesia related, because back when Markiplier was first starting, that's what he was doing, was Amnesia. But I liked watching him play, and I didn't realize that you could be so like taken by it. Like, I watched him, and then later on I seen, like, when he would talk solo with his fans and subscribers, how much appreciation he had for everyone. And it just made me realize that, like, it would be so amazing to have that myself, to have so many people look up to me and be inspired by the things that I do. And that's really what got me wanting to make YouTube videos. Hey there, guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. It went on a lot longer than we expected it to, so we ended up cutting it off before we got to the personal questions. But I wanted to answer these questions for you guys because I feel like some of them, you know, you guys really were looking forward to me to answer, and I didn't want to leave you guys out of the loop. So whether they decide to do their personal questions on their own time is up to them, but I'm going to go ahead and answer mine. Gonna get over these really quickly because I am hungry and I am tired, and that was a 3-hour session. It went on 3 times longer than I expected it to. And plus it's kind of hard to shoot the breeze with myself. So here we go. Question 1, personal question. Do you plan on playing other games rather than stick to Gmod, Damned, and the Stalker? Well, first of all, the Stalker is a Gmod game type. Damned isn't. And I actually did do a lot of solo plays when I first started making videos. I do prefer group gaming because it's a lot more entertaining. It makes for a lot more interesting videos, but I'm never going to stop doing solo Let's Plays. I'm never going to stop communicating with you guys on a personal level. I want to always be able to talk to you guys, you know, like straightforward. So question 3 is, what is the gun on your wall? What's the purpose of it? What's the story behind it? I've had people mention that thing a few times, and this is by, man, I really don't want to fuck this name up, 88 Stevip 54321. I don't know if that's Stevip or is it supposed to be Stevip or Stefif, or I don't really know. I'm really bad at pronouncing names that I can't naturally pronounce, as is just about everyone, I think. But the story behind that, I really, honestly, I wish, guys, I could give you some amazing, glorious story behind that, like I used to be a hitman or something, but the truth of the matter is, that is actually a poster of Bob Marley. I know the light is glaring on it a lot, but sometimes you can see it when I'm playing in the dark, like, well, actually, that doesn't make sense, does it? That's a picture of Bob Marley. My brother actually got that for a birthday, like well, actually, it's probably longer than that, like 8 years ago. And inside of that case, underneath the plaque, because there's a plaque in the middle that says Bob Marley, underneath it, there's a case, and inside that case, there is a fake gun. It is fake. It is not a real gun. I do own real guns, but that is not one of them. It is a fake pistol, and there's a fake $100 bill. That is the story behind that. My brother got that like 8 years ago, and when he moved out, he never took it with him. I really wish I had a better story for that, because it's been asked many times, and I would love to have given you guys something exciting, but that is what it is. But anyways, guys, once again, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Comment on the video. If there's anything you want to let me know. If you had any comments about the entire live stream, you know, by all means, or the entire podcast rather, by all means, let me know. Subscribe to my channel if you feel the need to do so. Until next time, guys, take it easy.